larger, these big things that we do. Because we work really, really hard to make sure that, at least for the characters, what they're doing is justified, at least to them. So coming up with something like a child pageant is one thing. Figuring out how to get into it and what it has to do with the world, so that it feels like it's relevant as opposed to just a joke. Because I think, we work really hard to make sure that our stuff just isn't like,
it's a fine
yeah,
line.
that's a funny joke. Like, it's got to feel like there's something more happening, so there's a little depth to it. I mean, one of the things that I think we pride ourselves on is that you can watch the show multiple times and get more from it because that's what we really challenge ourselves with. Coming up with ideas, though, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to
There's always something
prey
going on in the world.
There's always something crazy going on,
It's also always a challenge. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just nothing easy about it in general, whether it was season 1 or
Yeah.
season 7.
I just mean there are a lot of things to make fun of. Structuring it and making it really work as an episode is the toughest part.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about your writing process? Like, do you come up with a concept, like the baby funeral, or they're gonna get hooked on crack to get welfare money? Does that come first?
It's different every time. I mean, usually, it could be anything from we have this idea like this year that did happen. We thought that throwing a baby funeral was just about the darkest thing we could kind of just. We're like, there's a way to make that funny, and it was an interesting challenge to say like, how could we throw a baby funeral and actually have that be funny and not just be totally awful and dark. And that's a fun challenge. And then sometimes it's something as simple as, I think I heard about this person who had a cat stuck in their wall, and then it goes up on the board, and you see if it fits into a larger episode, and you kind of go from there. So it's any number of things.
Can I ask what happened with the dead tooth scene in the fact that they called it out on Raising Hope?
Yeah,
a similar joke with that.
Yeah, my understanding is that they already had a joke about.
Yeah, I spoke with Greg about it. I've known Greg Garcia for a number of years, and I know he watches Sunny. And he called me and told me after it aired and somebody forwarded it to me, he told me what happened, which is that they had a storyline involving a dead tooth, and they had written.
Were they actually calling it a dead tooth?
Dead
Do you know?
tooth, yeah.
They were calling it a dead tooth?
A dead tooth.
Yeah,
Really?
and that's why he was like, when he
Yeah,
saw our
and so
episode, he was like, oh, man.
He saw it, and he was watching it on TiVo. He said they had like 4 scripts in which they had referenced it, and they were just starting to shoot it like the
Jesus.
following week. And he said he saw us reference it, and he was like, fuck, man, don't show it. And then the final scene in the episode, we show it, and he knew he had to do something, so he just called it out in the episode.
That happens, I mean.
It happens with us.
Yeah, and when I was doing the Groundlings, and we would constantly, think we were putting up the most amazingly unique, hilarious sketches, and then that next week you'd see something on Saturday Night Live that's like, how would they have come up with that? And it's the same. It happens. It's just
Yeah.
What that happened to us this year? What was it like? We had a whole storyline about something we were referring to as the Lemon Party in an episode, and then somebody came to us like literally the day before we were supposed to shoot this stuff.
No,
and
the
said-
day we were shooting it.
I'm sorry, the day. Yeah, right. We were shooting it later that day. We were supposed to shoot the first scene in which the idea of the Lemon Party was mentioned, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, I just saw an episode of 30 Rock where they did a whole joke about the Lemon Party." And we're like, "Oh God." Because our shit doesn't air until September, October, so of course people are going to be like, "Oh, they stole the idea of the Lemon Party," but we changed it on the day because we're geniuses.
What is a lemon party?
It's like a tea bag.
Well, apparently in the 30 Rock
Or a
episode.
tea party.
Tea party, not tea bag party.
No,
We
no.
have to
Lemon
be-
party, it's like it's a political
It's a
party.
political party.
Well,
Well,
not-
it's a political party in Canada.
But it's also.
I think on 30 Rock, because her character's last name is Lemon, they were just calling out the Lemon Party for a dinner table. So I didn't see the episode. And then it's also some sort of website with elderly men giving each other blowjobs.
Oh, good.
So
And that's the joke they were making on that. Although we actually didn't know that at the time.
Just
Our lemon
hilarious.
party joke had nothing to do with anything.
No, not nearly as exciting.
Because they have to like pucker up.
I don't know. I have no idea.
That show's brilliant.
Yeah.
This is what.
That's
By the
funny.
way,
From that.
I'm basing all that information on something that someone just told to me. So I know.
Well said.
I won't back it up.
Right.
Oh, and I jack off to old man porn.
Can you tell us the origin of Gail the Snail? I love Gail the Snail.
Yeah, the Garbage Pail Well, originally it was the Garbage Pail Cousins, and there were 2 of them. It was Gail the Snail and We had something like Neil the
Not
Nincompoop
quite
or
right.
something.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite right.
Not quite right.
Right.
Ronnie or
Yeah,
Ronald?
we had a not quite right Ronald or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Who was like this sort of like Forrest Gumpian, like 40 IQ kind of guy who was her brother. So it was like the two of them. I can't remember. We just
didn't have enough time.
Yeah, we didn't have enough time to address it all, so we just ended up with just Gale the Snail. I don't remember, where did that idea come from? Why?
I don't know.
Just one of those
wanna do like a
fucking
annoying
weird
family
things.
member.
Yeah, one of those things that just happen.
Just one of those strange things that we came up
Kind of
with.
rhymes too.
Yeah.
Rhymes are funny.
Gale the
Rhymes.
Snail.
For
Rhyming.
Mary Lynn Rowsky.
It was not written for her, no. But Caitlin's been friends with her for years, and we knew her because of Caitlin. So although we didn't write it for her, we did think of her after we wrote it. We were like, she would be good for this.
Are you planning any other marketing initiatives because of the Dick Towel, and when are kitten mittens coming on the market?
I think they're out there, right? Don't they sell them on the FX website?
Oh, are they?
Kitten
I think
mittens?
there's Kitten Mittens merchandise, but I don't think they don't sell. I don't think
Actual
actual mittens.
mittens.
They might. I don't know.
I think they do.
Oh, maybe they do.
Really?
Really?
I thought they said that they did.
What cat would allow you to put mittens on their feet?
No cats.
I think it's a
Yeah.
stocking stuffer,
Dead
for Sunny
cats.
fans.
Dead cats, yeah.
Dead cat, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Nothing new this season in terms of that.
Not in terms of that, no. I don't think so.
A board game, maybe.
Oh, yeah, actually,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we do a whole episode. We talked about doing a whole episode that takes place in the bar this year. So we're like, we've never really done an episode where the whole thing just takes place in the bar. And so, we actually have an episode where it's kind of a rainy day and our characters don't know what the hell to do with the day and they're kind of bored. And so they end up busting out this game that they invented years and years ago called Chardy McDennis.
They just mashed their
You can't
names together.
figure out
Yeah,
what-
it's Charlie.
figure out what to call
Pre-Frank.
it.
It was
Yeah.
pre-Frank.
And the
Pre-Frank.
game is that we actually just mashed all of our favorite board games into one. So there's elements of Trivial Pursuit, elements of Pictionary.
It's a great
elements
game.
Of, yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah, so it's
Really
kind of
great
this
game.
wild game that, of course, is a drinking game, and so the whole
Everything is a
episode is us
drinking
playing a game of Charity
Yeah,
McDennis,
one
and
full
all
game.
takes place in the bar. It's pretty
It's a
fun.
lot of fun to play.
So now, what do you guys think of the Vancouver Canucks Green Men?
You know, those guys. I think
Yeah,
those guys are
yeah.
awesome. I mean, those
Yeah.
guys have credited our show numerous times, and I've gotten a lot of tweets about that, like, why are these guys stealing your shit or whatever, and they actually haven't. They've credited us a number of times, and then now that ESPN's been giving them a ton of attention, ESPN literally cuts out their references to our show because they don't want to advertise our show where rival cable network. But that's got nothing to do with those guys. I mean, they're just taking an idea and running with it. I think it's
Is there a
great.
need to reclaim Green Man?
Well, I'm more of a Bruins fan, so I'm not so excited about it.
Did
But
you watch hockey?
I don't know. If two kids want to go to hockey, dress in green. No, I don't know. I'm a very apathetic Bruins fan. But I don't know. If they want to go to games and dress like Green Man, it'd be pretty moronic to try and stop them.
Themselves out. They show up at U of O games all the time too.
I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I mean, I think it's
If
like
they can keep
one of the
boners to a
coolest
minimum.
things.
Yeah, that's
Boner.
the thing. Like,
Keep their boners to a minimum because
it's
it's
not
really
the
no
most
hiding
flattering
it.
costume.
No.
I think you either know that it came from the show or you don't. I think that's kind
Yeah,
of cool.
it's
You
kinda-
know,
it's fun.
Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting.
What cameos do you guys have on tap for this year? Are you allowed to talk about them? Or are you keeping them?
Talk about Sonic.
Jason
Talk about
Sudeikis is
Sonic.
back for just a quick thing. We got John Polito, great character actor, comes in and plays Danny's long lost brother,
Frank's brother.
Frank's brother.
Kings of Leon.
The Kings of Leon make a
Yeah.
brief appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, not even that brief. They're in a whole.
They're in there.
They got a whole thing.
They had that whole thing with Glee where they
Oh,
were
yeah.
asking to use one of their songs, and it turns out they're not huge fans of Glee, but they're huge fans of Sunny, so we made it happen.
We jumped on it.
Interestingly enough, and ironically enough, they actually end up showing up. The episode that they're in ends up being. There's some elements of it that are Glee-esque, we'll say.
Yeah.
But who else we? Lance Reddick is going to be on the show.
Yeah,
this year.
yeah.
Actually,
Wow.
he's going to be in
fantastic.
the same episode that Polito is going to be in. And then a
And
couple
we
of
have
other
a big one we're not allowed to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
We'll
then
talk about it
a
later.
surprise one to announce later this
How
season.
big is it?
Yeah, it's
big.
okay.
He's
It's
a pretty
fucking-
famous guy.
Okay. It's pretty fucking.
It's not gonna
It's
knock your
okay,
socks
it's
off, but you'll
okay.
recognize the name.
It'll knock some people's.
Rhymes
not-
with
It'll-
Osama.
It not.
No, I'm kidding. It's not Obama.
Let's
It's
not-
not
let's
Obama.
not
Mike Patton.
Let's not talk.
It's not Mike Patton. Bigger than Patton.
Way
Oh,
bigger
wait a
than that.
minute, come on, just let's not talk about it.
All right.
All right. All right. It's all hush hush.
I was trying
Kids.
to misdirect.
I'd love to have Mike on the show though.
Yeah, Mike's gotta do the
He's
show.
cool
We gotta
guy,
get
yeah.
him
We'll get him on the show at
He's-
some point.
he's
I think we had someone else.
He's awesome.
And,
Yeah, we might have some. Where we forget who we forget.
Well,
Anyone?
Nah.
Okay.
Danny DeVito.
He's
DeVito.
guest starring
I'll
this
be
year.
here next week.
Cranberry burrito.
Do you guys still improv much in scenes?
Oh
or
yeah,
is it
you can't.
more-
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, man. We can't keep our mouths shut.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
We have to have
Just
talks
goes
with each
on
other.
and on and
Yeah,
on.
yeah. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes it's like, all right, look, I get it.
I get
It's
it.
funny what you're saying, but I want to say my funny thing.
Yeah.
So
Make
just
sure I
wait
finish
to
my
say
funny
your
thing.
funny thing until I'm done
out
with
of
the
the
last
picture
syllable
right
of
now.
my funny thing,
Yeah.
and then you can jump on it. That's all you want.
Show yet, has she?
No, no, Rhea hasn't been on the show.
No, Rhea hasn't been on the show yet. We gotta
She
get
did
her
a
on the show. at some
live
point.
Nightman Cometh.
Does she
cameo,
want to be?
but That's it. Does she?
Yeah, she wants to be on. Doesn't she?
Yeah.
Who
I thought
wouldn't?
Didn't you mention that she did?
Yeah, yeah, I think
No.
we were, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about
Long
that.
while ago.
Yeah, we'll get on the show.
All right.
No, we'll get her back on
Lucy
the show.
does.
My daughter Lucy was on the show once.
Twice.
Twice?
Twice.
She's on twice.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, we still, you know,
Good
it's
to
not
have
so
your
much. I mean,
family on the show.
we definitely improvise on the show, but it's more ad-libbing than improvising.
Really,
You know what I mean? Like,
Elizabeth?
we don't just improvise entire scenes.
Yeah, we don't make up scenes.
No.
His wife, his girlfriend.
Hmm?
I said
Was
Mary
she on a lot?
Elizabeth.
She didn't seem like she was
Mary
on that much
Elizabeth
last
is-
season.
She's on a little bit more this,
This
season.
year, yeah.
she
Maybe?
was, she was
A little bit
busy
more.
with Perfect Couples last season. There's stuff
Yeah.
to pin her down.
Yeah.
You can't nail her down like the guys from.
Yeah, they're all pinning her down there.
What are some of your favorite shows?
Oh, right now I'm watching The Killing every Sunday night. I got next week is it's the finale, so don't tell me anything if you saw it. And
Stanley Kubrick movie.
no, it's not. It's
Yeah, he watches 5 minutes every
You watch
Sunday.
this a minute, like every Sunday?
Don't tell me what happens.
And
That's all what happened.
you know, I watch.
Game of Thrones.
I don't. I'm not into that.
Don't, Danny. I wasn't talking about you.
Okay.
60
I thought it was
minutes.
all
60
about me.
minutes.
We watched
Love
every
60
every
minutes.
episode.
I love
60
60
minutes.
Love 60 Minutes.
And
Intervention.
Jon Stewart every night.
Jon Stewart.
I
Yeah.
watch Jon
Daily
Stewart
Show. I've
every
started
night.
watching.
I love that guy.
Yeah,
I,
it's
love,
good.
I mean, he's
I
crazy.
don't know, watch that.
I don't watch a lot of scripted
And,
television. I really enjoyed Eastbound and Down. Well, that show was
Mhm.
great.
Well, you know,
But I haven't seen
Breaking
second season.
Bad. Well,
Breaking
man,
Bad.
you know,
One's coming
Bad.
back soon.
Yeah.
great, man. And
Next week.
you know,
2
I
weeks.
got into being a box set person, you know, because I,
Yeah.
for a really long time, didn't watch TV, and for some reason, you know, doing whatever,
6
and I
years
missed
ago?
the whole Sopranos. I never saw it before, and then about 6 months ago, I got the whole 83 episodes and sat down and watched them in 2 months.
And you're doing that with Twin Peaks, right?
And I'm doing that now with Twin Peaks. It's like fantastic.
And you'd never seen Twin Peaks
No,
before?
no.
My
And
Two
like-
Dads is next, right?
Yeah.
After
And
that.
I watched, of course, you know, The Wire all the way through because I'd never seen that before.
Great.
I did that, and I did Deadwood.
Deadwood's
Nally.
the
Kate
best.
Nally.
Kate Nally.
Fucking
Kate
great,
Nally.
man.
Kate Nally, yeah. That's a good one to do. Alf.
No.
Alf.
Mr.
Kate
Sunshine.
Nally.
Kate Nally, bro.
I didn't watch that.
Kate
What?
Nally. fuck are you talking about?
What the
Jake
fuck are
Curtin.
you talking about?
You're fired.
That's probably had the biggest influence on Sonny than any other show on
Kate
television.
Nally? Kate Nally?
Yeah, sure.
Easily.
Well, Allie, not Kate.
Kate was the worst.
Glenn, do you watch Hoarders to get like ideas from like the
I-
80s Hoarder show? And
I can't. Hoarders
Hoarders
gives
is
me
just
anxiety,
sad.
man.
Yeah.
Gives me anxiety. I can't watch that.
I
one.
thought I was gonna
I
love
can't watch
that.
those shows either.
It made me uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm always every time I always
Intervention
watch
I
like
like.
Intervention on the DVR, and then they give you the first like 2 minutes of Hoarders, and I'm always like, ooh, I
Ooh.
do want to see that. But then every
But then
time
they
I try,
have to take away the animals and the kids, and you're like, oh.
yeah, and then
I
they
wanna
sweep,
laugh.
then they
I wanna
sweep
laugh.
the basement, and there are more
Great, yeah.
animals, except they're all dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
there's
the
like a
dead
dead
animals.
child. Or
Yeah, there's like
Yeah, there's always, like,
I have no
carcasses.
idea what they're talking
a
about.
frozen dead kid.
That's the great thing about it.
You've never seen Hoarders?
Never.
Fucking
I
freaks
don't,
me
you know,
out.
there's so many things when I come to work and they talk about stuff. I just like, it's so great. I'm just like pure as the driven snow. I have no fucking idea what they're saying.
I have a John King question for you guys.
John
watched the-
King,
Yeah,
yes.
on CNN last
Right.
night, he was asking, Daily Show or Conan O'Brien? With all the Republican candidates. Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy or Timothy Oliphant for Justified?
In terms of what?
Ooh,
Okay.
Don't make me
What am I
pick.
thinking? What? Why?
Which
What am I
one?
saying?
That's what I think. John King. He was asking those kind of questions about
Hunnam.
the Republican.
On a-
And
on
you
a
had to
news
pick
show.
Between
Hunnam.
Sons of Anarchy, Charlie Hunnam,
Pick.
and Justified.
To fuck?
Timothy-
Like, I
What do you
was-
mean?
That's your favorite. That's your favorite that you like.
Yeah, Charlie.
Oh, I don't know.
I've never seen Sons of Anarchy.
Well, you've seen him in other stuff, right?
Hunnam?
No.
Hunnam? Is he a done
Green
anything?
Street Hooligans.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's done a lot of stuff.
You've seen that, right? The
I saw Green Street Hooligans.
I did too. I love that
We
movie.
watched that together,
We
actually.
sure did.
We sure
Aw.
did, buddy. Yeah, remember when we were
You
friends?
lived together.
I think if we walked into a bar with him in like Rhode Island, no one would know who he is.
Hunnam?
Well,
Yeah.
maybe they may not know, but they
They'll
will all
know
go,
and-
oh, hi.
They'll know soon.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
looks good.
Yeah. It looks
I
Is
good.
the blonde guy on the
Yeah.
show?
So no.
I like old
I
Fant.
love
like
him too,
old
and I
Fant.
I
love
love Deadwood.
I love.
I watched
I
that.
love old Fant.
You
I
made
think
me
he's
pick.
really good.
Wasn't
I've
fair.
not seen Hunnam do very much, but I've seen Oliphant do quite a few.
He's
things.
great in the Transformer movies. Just kidding.
He does look like that.
He does. They look similar, right? No, wait,
He
what
can
is-
play for the Patriots. Does he play for the Patriots?
Yeah, he plays
They
the
did.
Yeah, he's the quarterback
You're
for the
talking about
Bengals.
Josh
That's another
Duhamel
show I
and the
never
other guy
watched.
looking
Yeah,
at
Josh
that?
Duhamel.
Yeah, what are you
And
watching there?
Timothy Oliphant
Josh
and Josh
Timula,
Duhamel.
and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'd
Triplets.
say I'll take both those dudes. You know? I'll take them both.
You know what, dude? Can I come?
Yeah, let's get in on it. We'll have a party with them.
Let's get him.
Let's get him.
Let's get him and do.
Sneak up
whatever-
behind him.
Let's get him.
Yeah. Who do you take between the two of them?
Oh, Hunnam.
And what do you take him to? Where
Yeah,
do
where
you
do you
I
take
would
him?
take him. I would take him to
Wherever.
Costco. I would
Yeah.
You take him to Costco.
I would. I would take him. Yeah,
I hear that.
I would take him.
I would
to
take.
television.
To
I'll
get him a
take.
fan,
I'll
a
take
ceiling
Hunnam to
fan, or-
Costco.
Take him to the barber and
They
get
sell
him a
those big
fucking
fashion.
No.
I'll take Oliphant because no one's taking him.
I'll take
I
Oliphant.
took
dude.
I took Oliphant.
Yeah,
I still
you
want a
should
tight
get-
hole. You guys are all taking. You guys are all taking Hunnam.
You think Oliphant's hole is tight?
I think
Yeah.
it's tight.
Mistaken.
Everyone's doing Hunnam.
Yeah, they're all banging him.
That's
Next
a good
question,
point.
Next question.
And we can do 2 more questions.
So at this point in the run of the series, does FX let you guys do whatever you want, or do you still have them kind of raise some flags, even though you're on cable and everything? But is there still like?
They trust us a lot more than. It's not that they didn't trust us before. It's just that we were all figuring the show out together, and I think we have a pretty good idea of what they like as well as what we like. So I mean, we don't really get much pushback, but that's mostly because we also know the kinds of things that they would push back on anyway. It's a pretty great symbiotic relationship, and they still give us great ideas too. You know, when we give them episodes and they say, "Hey, this is what we like about." They're pretty good about honing in on what's good about the episode and sometimes topping it and giving us other ideas.
You mentioned you were going to push the Jackass episode to next season, so do you definitely see the show coming back for season 8, season 9, and how long?
Working on it. We're working
We're
on it.
optimistic.
Yeah, we're optimistic.
Very
Very good
optimistic.
about it.
What do you guys look for in a movie script for your film projects?
A funny
I
role
have a
for
lot of
women.
screenwriters read my blog, so they
Oh,
want to know.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Well, beginning, a middle, and end. Characters have to want something.
Yeah.
If it's
Something
a comedy,
funny.
it should be funny.
And unique.
If it's a drama, it should be moving.
Danny's being a smart ass.
If it's a
No, but
action
he's-
flick,
No, but
it
that's
He's
true.
not a
I
dick.
mean,
Good
that's-
point,
that's
so-
weirdly,
Weirdly-
yeah.
It's weirdly
well,
true.
It's weirdly true because I've been, thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. I mean one of my biggest pet peeves, one of the things that I just don't like it when characters do things that are funny to the writer,
And you don't know why.
For no
but you don't know
reason.
why they're
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
doing it, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, like, a character does something that supposedly is funny, but it's not something that would ever help the character achieve his goal. So it just loses all of its credibility.
Yeah,
You
you gotta
gotta
want
have
something.
some. The characters have to have some credibility.
Yeah, they want.
Something that they actually
something
need.
they
Yeah.
need. Yeah, they want it. They have to go for it.
I mean, it sounds really stupid, but
and everybody wants different things.
gotta be grounded.
As the season's supposedly a little bit darker. Last season we saw you explore some kind of human elements to Charlie the King of the Raps and things like that.
Some kind
As
of
the
human
season gets
element.
darker, do you guys get more and more empty and depraved, or do you guys warm up a little bit?
I think there's a ton of heart this season.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of
yeah,
heart. There's
a
a-
lot, yeah.
I mean, you know, these characters are always kind of
lot of heart.
going back and forth between just having absolutely no hearts and having a ton of heart, but just in a bizarre way.
You know, yeah, our characters can have moments where they just they probably can't truly imagine, you know, the worst happening, although they'll agree to it, you know, as long as it's like, yeah, I'm doing my thing, and if you end up dying, that's fine. You know what I mean? But I think deep down inside, like if something like that actually happened, although we actually did do that though, season 4. We thought you guys were dead, and I was like, all right, time for a new roommate. So I guess what I'm saying is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
But then we buy that back. That
Oh,
you
that's
knew,
right.
You knew all along that
That's
we were
true. We
fucking.
bought that
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
We bought that back at the end. Yeah, we found out that I actually knew that you guys were.
Yeah, and Danny got super depressed about it.
Yeah.
I mean, these characters do love each
Frank
other
loves
in their weird,
Charlie.
sick way.
Frank loves Charlie.
Loves Charlie way more than he loves Dennis and Dee.
I think Charlie loves Frank too, though. I think you
Yeah.
guys have a good,
Yeah.
loving relationship.
Mac and Charlie love each other. You
That's
know?
true.
They got a little bond.
One of
We
the
love
really
everybody.
touching moments was last season. You guys, I think it was for Charlie's like birthday or something.
Mhm.
and You
Yeah.
set up those items on the
Yeah.
farm.
Yeah.
How did that scene evolve?
Well, you know, actually, Charlie did some improvising in a scene earlier that season, or no, the season before. It was when we did the M. Night Shyamalan episode where they were writing a movie together.
Oh, right, right.
Oh, yeah.
And Charlie was talking about like a man who runs on all fours and is basically like a dog. And he started improvising. He improvised something about
A bird with teeth.
a bird with teeth and a tiny little man, tiny little worm man inside of a tiny boat, or something. And I just thought it was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever heard.
Right, yeah.
It was all completely, I don't know where it came from, but
And
so
just
then
the pictures, and then trying to make sense of pictures.
yes, the idea of him having these creatures, these dream book creatures, you know, and him having like a dream book and a book where he writes all his ideas down and finding that book and interpreting those to be the things that he would ever, you know, that he would desire in his life, and then trying to help his dreams come true.
Is that where bird law came from?
No.
I don't know where bird law came from. It's ridiculous. I
Guys,
don't
we
know.
gotta let them get back to the show.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
You guys so
Yeah,
much.
thank you guys.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Hey.
I'm on this side of things now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What do we see, Josh? Thanks so much. Thanks,
Yeah.
How are you?
The question is how long it is, and
I couldn't tell you.